Guys, this is Lindy from Love Create Celebrate. Welcome back to our channel where we share all of our DIY and home renovation videos. Today I am doing a fun episode of my Scraps Made Modern series. In this series I take scrap wood and turn it into something beautiful for the home, and today I am doing 2 projects. If you have not subscribed to our channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on future DIY and home renovation videos. So today I found some scrap wood in my garage. I'm making 2 projects and I'm really excited. I think they both turned out amazing. This is always a fun series for me. It's a chance for me to test out my creativity and test out all of the skills I've learned along the way for woodworking and DIY. My husband is an amazing woodworker and he's taught me a lot. So I'm slowly going out on my own, making projects without any of his help. And this is my chance to show off some of the stuff that I've learned. So very excited about this series. Co-hosting Scraps Made Modern with me today is my friend Melissa from Welcome to the Woods blog. This is her YouTube channel. She has a bunch of amazing DIYs that you guys are going to love. And today she is also doing a project out of scrap wood, and I will link to it in the description and at the end of this video. So make sure to go check out her project. All right, let's go dig into the scrap wood pile and get started. For our first Scraps Made Modern project, I am going to be using these 2x2 boards that we had left over. I'm not even sure what we cut them for originally, but they've just been sitting in our shop for a little while and I have an idea for them. My plan is to make them into a firewood stand. I actually had all of this wood cut down. The city cut it down when they had to cut one of our trees down on our property, and they left all this wood for me, and I decided a nice stand for the winter would be a really pretty decor piece. I started by sanding down all of the pieces. I want them as smooth as possible so that when I paint them later on, it almost has the look of metal, even though it's just going to be made out of pine. Once I had everything sanded, I had to decide how tall I wanted my piece, and just based off looks, I decided to go with 3 feet, so I'm marking it here and I'm going to cut it on my miter saw. I cut 4 of those long pieces to act as a frame for my piece, and then I had to do some measurements to figure out how wide I want it to be and what I wanted the depth to be. Once I had those measurements figured out, I went back to my table saw and did some more cuts. When I was done cutting, I had 4 3-foot long pieces, 3 2-foot long pieces, and 4 1-foot long pieces. So pretty easy measurements, 1, 2, and 3 feet long. So I have all of these boards cut. We had to use a couple different sizes. Some of them are slightly smaller. They're 1.25 inches by 1.25 inches. So I'm using the pocket hole jig to put pocket holes in all of the boards. And I have set this to 1.25 inches here, and I have set the stop on my drill bit to 1.25 inches here-ish. It doesn't have an exact spot, but we made it. So yeah, I'm just going to drill into all of these boards so that I'm ready to drill them together. I used that pocket hole jig to put pocket holes in all 4 of my 1-foot pieces on both sides and on all 3 of my 2-foot pieces on all sides. And that is how I'm going to build the entire frame for this firewood holder. Once everything was cut and my pocket holes were made, I laid it all out and made sure that my pocket holes were facing downward, and then I attached everything together, drilling into those pocket holes and using glue to hold it. I built both of the rectangular frames first that were 3 feet by 1 feet, and then I used the adjoining 2-foot pieces and attached them afterwards to attach the 2 rectangles together. The third 2-foot long piece was placed about a foot down from the top just to help secure everything and hold it together. Once everything was attached, I got ready to prime my piece. The reason I chose to paint it instead of stain it is because I wanted this piece to potentially look like it was made out of metal, and to do that I wanted to paint it black. So I primed everything first and then I got to work painting it black afterwards. And here is what my firewood stand looked like when it was all done. I put it in the living room beside the fireplace and I love it. I honestly think there's a few imperfections that make you know it's wood and not metal, but from a distance it passes as metal. It looks like a big purchased piece and I'm really happy with it. For me, this project was completely free because it was scrap wood, but even if you were to make it and buy the pine boards and cut them down, it still would be a very affordable project. For my other Scraps Made Modern project, I am using this scrap piece of maple that we had. It does have a big knot in the back, but I'm going to be able to cut that off, and I'm going to make that into a stylish dog bowl holder. The first thing I needed was something to help me draw and cut those circles out, and I actually found this frog tape lid just sitting in our shop that was the exact size I needed. So I'm going to use that to trace the circles, but first I have to cut the maple down to size. I measured 16 inches wide and cut off the excess part of the board on my miter saw. The next step was to cut out the circles for the dog bowls. To do this, I found the center where I wanted my dog bowl to be, which was 4 inches from either side, and then I measured out the size of the diameter on all the sides and then traced out my circle template. Next, I drilled a hole near the edge of both circles and got ready to cut out the circles. You can use a scroll saw or a jigsaw to easily cut the circles out. Either way, once they're cut out, you want to make sure to sand down all of the edges to get a nice smooth finish. The nice thing about this project is that your circles don't need to be perfect because the rim of those stainless steel dog bowls are going to cover up the rim a little bit. When everything was cut and sanded, I did a dry fit to make sure that the bowls fit in nicely, and then I got to work making my legs. For the legs, I had some leftover thick 1-inch dowel, so I cut those into 2.5-inch pieces and cut 4 legs out on the miter saw. Next, I used a speed square to draw lines at 45-degree angles on all 4 corners of my piece so that I could have a spot to put my dowel. Then I used wood glue and clamps to attach it. I centered the dowels on those lines, just visualizing as best I could, and made sure to wipe away any excess glue. When it came to finishing the piece, because I'm working with two different types of wood, I didn't want to stain the whole piece because I knew that the stain would end up looking different on both types of wood. So I decided to stain at the top and paint the bottom. And the color I chose for the top is a white stain called linen. It kind of gives the wood this whitewashed look, but you can still see the wood grain underneath. And because this piece is definitely going to have water spilled on it, you need to be sure to protect the wood. So I am finishing all of the parts that I stained with polyacrylic. And last but not least, I had to paint those legs. I taped them off to protect the wood around it and then painted the legs black. And here's what the finished pet food dish looked like. Once again, so happy with the end results. I love the colors together. I love how sleek and modern it looks. And my dog definitely does not mind using it. So overall, a great DIY. Thank you so much for watching. I had so much fun making those projects and I really honestly loved how they turned out. If you liked them, let me know in the comments which one was your favorite or if you liked them both. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and as always, hit the bell so you don't miss out on future DIY and home renovation videos. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching.